I don't get it.
Podcast.
Hi, my name is Ashley, and I'm pregnant.
You're pregnant!
This is wild! Surprise!
Sperm has met the egg.
You guys, I don't know how to tell people. Like, it's so weird telling people, like calling people and telling them. I just literally blurt out the second like they answer the phone and be like, hi, so I'm calling you to tell you that I'm pregnant.
Wait, Lord.
Because like I'm not gonna beat around the bush and like be awkward. Of course, Jared is the perfect person at beating around the bush.
God, he's so
When
annoying.
we called Jaden Tanner, he had a whole 10-minute conversation about like other things going on in life before he was like, so
we have some news.
big news.
Yeah.
He buried the lead. He buried the lead.
Oh my God. Yeah. He like went on and on about like the coffee shop and about like the aesthetic of it and shit. And I'm like, Jared, are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me?
It's so funny because you just like want to get it out. So how did you
Yeah.
keep it a secret from people for so long? Was that really hard for you?
Well, we definitely announced like 2 weeks before like most people would. Lauren, why do you have your hands on your head like
Because
that?
I was thinking about something, but continue.
I
I was thinking about
So-
Jared beating around the bush, and it was giving me anxiety.
So we definitely, and we announced 2 weeks early than most people might, because most people wait to the end of the first trimester. But I mean, after as like nauseous as I've been, and at 10 weeks, like knock on wood, I'm pretty safe. But even if something were to happen, we would obviously tell people anyway. So that's why we were like, it's okay. I felt the need to really talk about it early, couple weeks early, because I just feel like I've been part of my job has really been slacking. Like I have no content for social media or like even this podcast because I haven't been living outside the house for a whole month. Like I'm in week I think on Friday. So today it is like a solid week of me basically never leaving the house.
And rewatching
So, like, I have
Grey's Anatomy,
no
so it's not even new
content.
show content. It's just rerun content.
I have nothing
You're-
and I'm so gross. Like you guys, every week I do Access, I get like puffier and puffier. And like on Tuesday, I did Access with like an IV and nobody would even know it.
Really?
Yes.
The power of Zoom. You're like Kylie Jenner right now. Remember when Kylie hid away for like a year and then she was
Yeah,
just
and-
pregnant?
And then on my Amazon Lives, like there were 2 weeks in a row where one time I threw up in between live streams. Like I had a 10-minute break and I went to the bathroom and threw up. And then the other one, I went for a half an hour and then I signed off. And then within 30 seconds of hitting the end button, I threw up in the kitchen sink. So it's just like, I mean, I just feel like I have been very affected by it. And I feel like it's almost so obvious based on like just like my silence that I was just like, I need to get this off my chest so people know why I'm off.
Yeah, like you just do ads and you don't have like filler content because
No filler content. And I feel no filler content. Even if I try, but I can't.
Has anyone caught on? Like, did anyone know before? Like, whether it's like random fans or followers on Instagram or people in your life? Like, was anyone like, you're pregnant?
I don't know because I don't look at my. Okay, so one of my things is that I feel really nauseous looking at especially the phone. Like the TV's fine. The computer is somewhere in between. But the phone, like I haven't scrolled on Instagram in a month. Like I barely respond to DMs. There's something about the blue light. There's something about the sound of the phone too, just like the speaker of it, which makes me very like nauseous and irritated.
Oh.
So,
do you
I
miss
haven't been, like,
it?
looking at DMs
Has
or
your
anything?
mental health been so nice? Because I would imagine if it was me, I like would love to not be on Instagram for a month.
Well, we talked about this offline last week, but I don't really feel mentally affected by Instagram. I feel like if I could just relax and not have to if I could do no work, which I'm already very blessed that I get to work from home, but I wish I could take my maternity leave during the first trimester instead of when the baby's out, because this is when I feel like I'm the most like not myself.
Right. Okay, so we have so much to talk about, obviously. So,
But you were asking if like any fans picked up.
I'm
on it?
looking at your comments now because I would expect there to be some underneath,
No.
and I don't think anyone has.
wow, you really Kylie'd this one.
No, I didn't. I've done like 4 ads in a row or like more, like don't even count. So there's this one girl on Instagram. We were going back and forth for a while over like the spring, because she was like, I'm in the same boat as you. My husband and I have been trying for as long. And she literally keeps DMing me, and I'm not reading them, but like I know that she like it keeps going to the top of my DMs. And I'm like, girl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like you can't say anything.
Something.
What?
You're like, I'm trying to tell you something without telling.
Yeah. She like, I can see like what the messages like partially say. Like, how's your cycle this month? How's it going? And it's like, I'm gonna just.
Isn't it so great how we can partially see DMs? Because so many times I'm like, I'm deleting this. Like, I'm not responding. I can't. I don't have that energy.
Can you tell everyone listening like why you took your first test and like how far along you were when you found out and like all this stuff?
And about that moment that you found out. Yeah, we have to backtrack and like discuss so much.
Okay, so this is very weird. Jared and I only had sex one time during that ovulation window that month, because I later discovered, because I love my natural cycles for real, and oh my god, what is the other test called? Proof test, that I ovulated 5 days early that month, which is super weird for me because I am always like, from me starting to like track very specifically since September, I've like never been a day. I mean, I've never been more than like 1 to 2 days off. So like for me to be 5-ish days early as far as like the egg leaving my ovary is very weird. So the day that we had sex, I thought was the first day of like our 4-day trying cycle.
Got it.
We normally would do it like what?
And how many months in was this? I know you've been sharing on Instagram, but just for
7
people
months.
listening. Okay.
It was 7.
So it's the 7th month, which, can I just say too, I think it's amazing that you have been someone who's spoken out and said that it's very normal to try for like 6 months.
Most normal.
Yeah, because I think we live in a society now where women or anyone is like scared to get pregnant, because I feel like we just read all these ads like freeze your eggs and fertility. Like we get all this stuff marketed to us, and people think that you have to have a kid right away. And if you don't, your body's not normal. And I think it's really incredible that you decided to open up about like your whole process.
Thank you. But yes, it's super crazy because I think people don't talk about, when they started trying, right? Like that's never something. And since we were so open about that from the beginning, I knew there was going to be like a timetable on it for the public, but like they never get timetables, like with Jade and Tanner, when they tried to have Brooks took like 9 to 10 months for them to conceive. But like nobody would ever know that.
Right.
Because they didn't say like, hey, we're starting now.
Right.
Oh my God, guys, I love this ad. It's so very exciting because Lauren and I love stuff like this. CheapCaribbean.com has been around for over 20 years, and it is in the business of providing the best all-inclusive beach vacations.
Everyone now is like going out headed to the Caribbean, and you might as well use Cheap Caribbean to get like an all-inclusive vacation with food, alcohol, non-alcoholic beverages, as well as the beach and night activities. And all you have to do is go to cheapcaribbean.com.
Yes, and Cheap Caribbean has no change fees when you book at Cheap Caribbean Resort, and you can actually add trip protection so you can book with confidence. Less money, less worry, more beach. Beach, please. Be sure to check out either a Dreams or Secrets Resort when you actually book with them. And right now, you guys can take $100 off your next beach vacay when you visit cheapcaribbean.com/IDGI-podcast, PODCAST. And we'll see you guys on the beach.
You guys,
$100,
more
guys.
food,
Come on.
more drinks, more fun, but for less. It's amazing. Like, you guys included food, drinks. That's awesome.
And use the code cheapcaribbean.com/IDGI-PODCAST. $100.
Boom. Now that you are pregnant, do you think there's just a lot of shame? Like, do you think women are like there's shame around it, which is why people don't like saying it because they're scared to admit it might take long?
No, I don't think so. I just think that that's just like something that their people aren't used to being open about. So I wouldn't say it's shame. It's just like a lot of people who haven't gone through the process themselves would assume that like something
Like what? You have sex when you're ovulating and then that's it. Like
And that's
you would
it,
think
right.
that's all you have to do. But I guess it takes multiple tries.
Yeah, and it's they say very normal to take up to a year. It's when you're at a year that like the doctors will start doing tests, but then again, it has to do with age and like other certain factors, of course. And you could start testing way earlier than that, depending on where you're at. But like for me, having just like always been healthy and like regular periods and all that, and my age, my doctor was like, no, like if you want to come back in October, November, that's when we can do some like real stuff. But we were going to do the sperm analysis because the sperm analysis is like nothing. It's totally non-invasive. The guy literally jacks off in a cup and they,
Wow, that's it.
Yeah. And then they put a little doodah in there or whatever. And they see whether his sperm is like super mobile or if, like what the sperm count is like. So we were like, well, might as well roll that out because 1/3 of people with fertility issues has to do with the guy. So it's might as well roll that out early on.
So did you end up doing it for Jared or no?
No, we got pregnant the month that we were gonna do it. Like I got the box and then he was gonna do it in June, but we found out we were pregnant on Memorial Day.
So tell us about that.
So yes, we didn't expect to be pregnant at all because it was only one sex in the entire ovulation window. Because I realized through like, my temperature tracking, I was like, I think I already ovulated. I was like, I can't believe it because like I was already at like 98 degrees when normally I would be at 98 degrees. You don't get to like 98 degrees in, at least for my body, until after I ovulate. And I was like, I can't believe it. The ovulation strips.
There has to be a 98-degree pun in there.
I know, right?
Wait, so for people that don't know, you're ovulating because your body rises in temperature.
Your temperature rises about a degree once you've ovulated. So between the thermometer and between the ovulation strips that kept coming back negative, I was like, I must have missed the window.
I mustn't miss the window.
She's perfect.
And I was like super bummed out. I was like, I can't believe we just wasted another month because I think it may have been the month before that we took a month off because we thought we might be doing something with Paradise. So we were like, oh, well, I can't go to Mexico pregnant. So I was like, I don't want to keep skipping these months. Anyway, so then a day before I would have presumably got my period had I ovulated 5 days early. So like 2 weeks exactly after I ovulated. My boobs are really big and sore. And I was like, okay, well, I might as well like take a pregnancy test for fun. Like I never do that.
Yeah.
I never take like lots of girls, like they test a couple days before their period. They get really anxious and excited.
Yeah.
And I was just like, no, that like leads to disappointment.
Yeah.
Because I did it a couple times and then I'd be like, no, then I get my period like 12 hours later.
Yeah.
And it just like kind of makes me sadder.
It can wear on you mentally. Kind of like when I
Yeah,
check the
I think
dating
so.
apps, I feel the same way.
So
I'm like, oh no,
and
matches? Okay, I guess I'll eat lunch now.
I'll check later.
Oh, maybe tomorrow.
Lauren, let me have a breathing break right now because I'm short of breath as this happens.
Well, you're also sitting in like such a crazy position right now.
Yeah, like
can you like sit up straight? Like you look so
no, this is good.
uncomfortable.
No, this is much better. I like to lie back. Lauren, explain how I was the day of your engagement dinner, which would have been like day 10, which would have been 10 days after It'd be like, 9 days after I ovulated, which if you if you really pay attention to the cycles, you guys, I read like so much about this stuff. I knew that at this day of Lauren's engagement dinner would have been around the time of implantation. So just to clarify,
Okay.
the sperm has to meet the egg, okay, in the fallopian tube.
Yes.
And then it has another hurdle of implanting into your uterus. Mm-hmm. You're not technically pregnant until it's implanted. Yeah. So you can have sperm meet egg and just not get pregnant.
Wait, if sperm meets egg and doesn't implant, is that a chemical pregnancy or?
No.
Yeah, what does that mean? What does that? What
I think that's
in
just.
That case?
I don't think period? That you get your period.
Huh. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's just like it not working out. Like that wasn't your person.
Yeah, that wasn't your person.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that could happen.
So on the dinner, I think she arrived a little bit late, and I could just tell, like, on her face, she was like something was different. I'm like, and I look over in the middle, I'm like, why are you in a bad mood? And you were like, what? I'm not. What? That's so annoying. Why would you say that? Now I'm in a bad mood. Okay, so then and then she goes, well, I'm a little nauseous. I don't feel very good. I feel like a pain. I don't feel very good. And I'm like, you're so pregnant. You're so pregnant.
I was like, I felt nauseous, and it was only like a little twinge of nausea in the car on the way there. And I was like, oh, maybe it's just because I wrapped my Amazon thing, and like after you talk for a whole hour straight by yourself, like you feel totally drained. And I was just like, I think I'm coming down from the adrenaline type thing. And then looking back on it, and when I was taking the pregnancy test, I was like, okay, so if I had a little nausea at that day, plus really sore boobs, let's take the test. It'll be funny. And I didn't even tell Jared.
Because at that dinner, we were roasting Jared for his sperm analysis.
You guys are the worst. Ashley, did you have, when you felt nauseous before Lauren said you're so pregnant, did you think maybe I am, or were you just like, why am I nauseous?
No, I thought in the car when I was nauseous, I was like, probably not, but it could be.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so I took a pregnancy test, not even telling Jared, because I didn't think anything. I was like, it's not going to say anything. And I took one of those ones that had the lines, not like the clear blue ones that say pregnant or not pregnant.
Why are they so?
Because I was like, I'm not
going to
so
waste
confusing. One of those.
Why are they so confusing?
They're really not. The line ones aren't that confusing.
The smiley face ones are confusing because it all depends on if you want a baby or not want a baby.
That one's fucked. That one's flawed. The line is flawed. Like, I'm sorry. That's like, what is it? Just say yes or no. Like, just write yes or no. Why do I have to do?
That's why the clear blue ones are the most popular, because it says pregnant, not pregnant.
Jesus Christ. Like, you have to do a fucking mathematical equation.
No.
And you're already have anxiety.
And there's like a fine double line, fine.
Well, so that's what happened.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
So I take one of the line ones because I didn't want to waste a really good one. And then there was a second faint line, and it was really faint. But in the package, it said, even if it's faint, it's a positive. And I was like, that's silly. I brought it to Jared.
System.
This is what I mean.
I was like,
this is what I mean.
I was like, Jared, I just took a pregnancy test, and like, there's a faint second line.
What do you
he
say?
was like, he was so convinced that I was not. So he was like, I'm sure you're not, but like, you'll take another one later. But I was convinced at that point that I was. I was like 1,000%.
Like,
I know it.
Look at
Yeah, I was like, oh, back then, guys, I was so fun and cute. I was like, touch the baby, touch the baby. He's like, I'm not gonna touch your flat ass Britney Spears stomach and like pretend there's a baby in there. And then I guess it may have been the next day that I got or maybe later that day, I got a clear blue test. I had one in the closet, and then I took it. He was like shitting in the bathroom or something. It took forever, and I like it like has a tracker. I was like, I'm not going to turn it over until you come out. And then he comes out finally after way too long, and I turn it over, and it was blank.
Are you
after like the whole countdown? It was blank.
Oh my
I was
God.
like, Jared, And I was like, so then we waited till the next day to go to CVS.
This is ridiculous. Wait, this is ridiculous.
And then that one said, the clear blue one said pregnant.
And then you took 5 more.
No, I did. Those are the 3 I took.
Okay.
And so tell us about when you saw that and Jared's reaction.
Oh no, there was one other in there that I took.
I
took another one of the line. I took another one of the line tests, and that time the second line was way more distinguished.
Okay.
It was still fainter than the other line, but it was way less faint than the first time around.
Okay.
So wild.
Is this so boring?
No, this is so like
I've heard the story and I'm still smiling and loving it.
Yes, me too. It's so exciting. Ashley, like what I was just thinking, as you said, you took the second one. I was just like, wow, we started this podcast with an episode about how we can't get boyfriends and you're pregnant. Ashley and Lauren told me, by the way, when I went to visit in Rhode Island.
Yes.
Which was
Laz was the first person to know.
Oh,
first person out of the family.
I just can't believe you and Jared are gonna have like a little Ashley Jared like in a human form. Like I can't believe there's gonna be a human walking on this earth whose
with a little
mother
bit of Ashley and a little bit
whose
of Jared.
mother is
I know, that
Ashley
is really
and
cool.
whose father is Jared. Like to me, that I'm so excited. Like
Your veins are popping out now.
hey, I really am. I'm like, oh, I just want to. I feel like I'm just want to punch the baby in the face. It's gonna be so cute.
Did you know that 80 million men and women in the U.S. experience thinning hair? Yeah, it's still not openly talked about. Another one of those things, right? That people just don't talk enough about. And that can make going through it scary and stressful, and it adds to the problem. You don't want to stress. But there is an easy way to grow thicker and fuller hair and healthier hair, and that is with Nutrafol.
Nutrafol is a physician formulated to be 100% drug-free. They use natural, clinically effective botanicals to better hair growth through entire body health. And you lose hair from hormones, from stress, from a plethora of different reasons. And Nutrafol really helps to get that hair growth boosted. And I actually have Nutrafol in my hair salon. When people say, oh, I'm losing my hair, I'm like, try Nutrafol, get back to me in a couple months. Let me know if you start seeing new growth. So I literally have it sitting there and I tell a lot of my clients about it.
There you guys have it. Straight from a hairstylist's mouth. I also know a friend of mine is taking it and she is obsessed, like so obsessed with her hair, like never thought that her hair could be thicker and healthier like how it is now. So if you guys are listening, you too can grow thicker, healthier hair, and you can support the I Don't Get It podcast. And all you have to do is go to Nutrafol.com, Nutrafol.com, use our promo code GET IT, and you'll save $15 off your first month subscription. This is their best offer available anywhere, and it's only available to U.S. customers for a limited time. So free shipping on every order. Also, again, $15 off at Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com. Promo code GET IT for hair as strong as you are.
You know what is so annoying? Okay, so I said this at the time that we of course recorded the Clear Blue. This is not sponsored by Clear Blue, but I feel like everybody knows what that test looks like. We taped ourselves with that, like the one that said pregnant. And he's like, we're pregnant. And I was like, you know what? I don't know how I feel about this expression, we're pregnant. I'm pregnant. And as time has gone on, that's a fucked up phrase. The woman is pregnant. We're having a baby.
Okay.
But she is pregnant.
Yeah, that makes sense. We're having a baby.
Yeah.
Yes, we're not pregnant. We're having a baby is different.
Yeah,
I love it. That's your I Don't Get It for this podcast, because I feel like a lot of people do say that. And as I get older and all my friends are now, trying to conceive and having kids, I'm like, it's hard and it's so different every person. How is it? I already know the answer to this, but like people are obviously going to be wondering, like, how has it been for you in your first trimester?
So this is like the I Don't Get It I came prepared for. So I watched Amy Schumer's documentary. What is it called? Shit.
I know which one you're talking about. What are her husband's in it?
Yeah,
Right?
the pregnant one.
I'll Google it.
Amy Schumer.
Was it the one on? Was it Amazon or
It was on HBO
Expecting
Max.
Amy. Expecting Amy on
Expecting Amy.
HBO Max. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I watched it like a whole year and a half ago or whatever when it came out. And I was like, oh God, that's going to be me. I know it.
Yeah.
She has hypermesis gravitas, or I think that's how you say it. So she had like, it affects 1% of women. Kate Middleton also had it.
And what does
where
that
it's
mean?
just like nonstop throwing up. It's like you throw up, technically it's like the definition of like every day you throw up more than 4 times.
Oh God.
I was like, I'm going to be so miserable just like her. Okay, I do not have hypermesis. I do not have it. But I watched it again with my mom the first week I came home. And like to just like kind of like see somebody to relate to. And like to see somebody else suffering even like more so than me. And
To
she
remind
said
yourself
like,
you're not alone.
yeah, to remind myself I'm not alone. And she said like, I think she said, I don't get it. Like women never talk about this. This is like horrible. And she's like, in movies, they make it seem like the girl like discovers she's pregnant by like throwing up in the office garbage can once.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
Exactly.
and knocked up.
Right.
And then the next scene, she's painting a barn in her overalls.
That's so funny.
That's so and I was like, that is so
It's so
accurate.
true. She's painting a barn and there's like happy music and
Yeah. And then but like Amy's documentary has gotten me through so much because like I just keep thinking about how fake all of that imagery is, or at least for like most women. I think that I fall in the lower half of like the how the first trimester goes, but I'm certainly not at like the worst. And I'm also, but I'm far from good. The first week or so, I'd say that I threw up like 10 times a week
Wow.
from
Wow.
5, 6, 7. Oh yeah, wait, so 5, like almost for like a month.
Wow.
This week, I've thrown up 5 times in a calendar week. So like, I think it's maybe getting better now. But I keep thinking about how annoying it is that women don't talk about this. And you do have this imagery from the media that like you throw up a couple times, like you'll be like totally fine, living your life. And then you're like somewhere funny and then you throw up and it just hits you instantly.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I'm nauseous 24/7.
Yeah.
I'm like, there have been days I'm actually okay right now, which is people are going to be like, you sound like you're not going to throw up right now. I've been okay for the past couple of days, but that's because I'm on the IV fluids. And when I'm on the IV fluids, I feel so much better because I think my dehydration levels add to nausea a lot.
That's wild because you drink so much water. I feel like the both of you. No?
Known as I haven't been able to stomach water.
Oh, duh. Oh, fuck.
I've had on a good day, maybe a bottle of water on a good day.
Damn.
It's also
So, like-
semi acupuncture as well, as Dad was saying.
No, it could be. My acupuncture bands don't work like this does.
Okay.
It's dehydration. I'm super dehydrated. You guys, I pee once a day.
Wow.
So, I talked to my doctor this week and she was like, yeah, just, you have to stay on the IVs. She's like, if your dad wasn't a doctor, we would be having a nurse come to your house.
Wow.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fantastic that you are normal.
This is also, it's also great, Ashley, because you are someone that shares and talks about things. Like, for example, I didn't know that trying to conceive for a year is normal. So I've now learned that. And I think that's important and something people don't talk about. And then, of course, everyone experiences pregnancy differently. So I have a couple of other friends that are pregnant right now and they're not nauseous, but who's to say like your second's going to be great and then they're nauseous in their third? It's just, it really is so wild how different it is.
The nausea is pretty much just a first trimester thing.
Is it? Okay.
Unless you're like Amy, who had hypermesis, which can be only the first trimester, or it could continue throughout the entire thing, like it did for her. But majority of women start feeling better, like almost normal, between weeks 12 and 16.
Okay.
So I'm at week 10 now.
I mean, you tell our listeners why you are at Mom and Dad's.
Yeah. Okay. So I came to mom and dad's 4 weeks today because I knew I was like, I need an IV. I was like, I know I need an IV because when Laura and I were younger, dad would like bring IVs home from work and he'd put Zofran in it. And this would be like when we had a stomach bug. You know, like the stomach bugs that you have in elementary school where you like throw up nonstop.
Yeah.
You like throw up 9 times in like 9 hours.
Yeah. I would do that when I got migraines or when you just like get the flu from like kids at school.
Yeah. So I don't know when the last time I had an IV was before then, but I was just like, I know that can make me feel so much better. So I'm going to go home, get some of that.
No Zofran.
Hydrate my system. I couldn't take... Zofran is if you guys don't know, Zofran is an anti-nausea drug. It's a prescription. There's a little controversy on whether it's okay in your first trimester. So I haven't taken it yet. My doctor says it's okay to take at this point, but there's like some studies that may show that like a kid might be born with a cleft lip if you take it. And then there's studies that contradict that.
Wow.
So I've just decided not to take it for another like week or so. But anyway, because I was so freaking dehydrated from throwing up and literally being able to stomach, I'm telling you guys, like a half a water bottle a day. And in your pregnancy, they suggest you drink 2 liters. It's a whole bottle of like a big bottle of soda.
Wow, I didn't know that.
You know, that's how much you're supposed to be drinking every day.
Wow.
So like the fact that I was able to get like half a water bottle down, and I'm not just saying water bottle, like any sort of drink. They even say like, they're like soda, anything, even if it's super sugary, you just need to get water. Like as long as it doesn't have caffeine, because caffeine will dehydrate you. Right. So I think the 4 days leading up to me coming home, like nothing. I had nothing in my system. So as soon as dad hooked me up to a couple IVs that weekend, I like got a little equilibrium. And then, you know, and now he like gives it to me every couple days. My doctor said,
that's so cute. I'm just picturing you in bed and your dad coming in to give you an IV because you're pregnant. That's so cute.
My dad's like, this is ridiculous. But also not. I mean, my doctor literally said,
this is crazy that people like, go through this.
She was like, if your dad wasn't doing that, we would have you either go to the hospital or we would set up home care for you, which is like so crazy. But it made me feel better that like, this is how we've been treating it before I asked her, because, you know, again, dad's a doctor. He like can figure things out on his own. The weird thing is, as much as an aversion I have to liquids, I love eating, but like don't love eating. I need to eat every 2 hours or I start dry heaving or I'll throw up, whatever, if I have anything in there.
Wow.
And then if, but like 2 hours, you guys, you get hungry. When you get hungry, you get nauseous. Like it's the one and the same. It's super weird. Again, another thing that Amy Schumer made me feel so much better about in her documentary, she's eating mozzarella sticks and on the phone with like her agent. Yeah. She's like, I'm sorry, but like, you know, if I don't eat every 5 minutes, I'm going to throw up.
I love it.
And you're like, that's me right now.
That's
it's such a double
me. You wonder like, how did Amy Schumer gain so much weight during her pregnancy if she was throwing up every single day? It's because
she didn't gain that much. I don't think she gained that much.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. She just seemed like she didn't at the end when she was like walking around after birth.
Oh, I feel like everybody after birth looks like they have like all the bloat still in there.
Well, yeah. I know. Yeah. I'm just saying like someone who threw up consistently, you wonder, but it's also because you're eating mozzarella sticks every 2 hours.
Non-stop. And I must be digesting super fast.
Wow.
Because there's times where I'll eat and then I'll throw up an hour later and it'll just be like bile. Like the food's already gone into my intestines. And normally it takes an hour. It takes like 2 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. So weird. Everything's so fucking weird and uncomfortable. I'm not that tired. I'm fatigued, but not tired. Okay. You guys know how I was talking about how like 70% of what I eat is pasta.
Yeah.
Well, I love Freshly's pasta. They have this baked penne with sausage, which is super good. And then they have some other things that Jared is eating these days, like their steak peppercorn, their chicken pesto bowl. It just makes dinner time so much easier.
So
or
much
if you're in my
easier.
case, the every 2-hour meal, so much easier. It's they're like chef prepared meals. And they are super fast and they're perfect if you don't feel like cooking but want something like a fresh quality meal. It's not like, from the frozen food department of your grocery store.
I agree. I feel like it's way more elevated and like such good quality. And I love it because when I'm stressed about working or if I go work out and then I have something after, it's so easy to just take it out of the freezer, put it in the microwave, and they taste so good. And also I feel like grocery shopping can just be a pain these days. And on top of it, ordering is super easy. So I go to freshly.com. They have over 30 delicious, better for you meals. The chicken pesto bowl is one of my favorites. And you can start planning and like meal prepping with these. And right now, our listeners can try Freshly for just $6.16 per meal. You guys, I can't even tell you like how good of a deal that is. So please,
amazing budgeting.
Yes, you don't have to Google healthy food near me every night and just start living life freshly.
Right now, Freshly is offering our listeners $40 off your first 2 orders when you go to freshly.com/getit. Stop stressing about dinner. Go to freshly.com/getit for $40 off your first 2 orders. That's freshly.com/getit for $40 off your first 2 orders.
How are you're sleeping? Because you used to go to bed
My
really
sleeping
late.
is
Are
fucking
you
horrible?
Are you still going to bed really late?
No, I go to bed at like 11:30.
Which is
But
early for Ashley Iconetti.
Well, it does. I like nighttime because like the light isn't blinding me outside and like it's
Right.
not as hot.
Right.
So I like nighttime. So I try to keep, everyone. But
Wow.
it's so you guys.
So no,
I sleep
no weird
so
cravings,
bad.
right? No weird cravings because you're nauseous.
It's weird for me to say cravings because
Things you can stomach?
it's more of like it's things. It's like what sounds like appealing right now. Like what sounds like I could eat it. And pretty much it's pasta, bagels do work, like granola bars. But I've been like, I feel like 50% of my chocolate chip pancakes, you might call chocolate chip pancakes a craving because I eat them almost every morning. And it's like the best way for my stomach to wake up in the morning because it's like really heavy carbs.
Sounds so good.
And like that's another fun thing that the doctors kind of say about the first trimester. They're like, it doesn't matter what you're eating, just get something in there.
What? That's like the best thing to hear from a doctor. It's like, oh, okay, you prescribed a Big Mac? Great.
I know.
Literally, I had a Big Mac last week and it like saved my life. It was amazing.
Oh, I love it.
No, like the greasier the better. Grilled cheeses.
I love it. Can we talk about mentally? Like, okay, so that's like the physical things that you're feeling right now.
The other physical thing is definitely feeling short of breath. The biggest thing I think I want women to know is that like you could be, this is a strong word and maybe it's an exaggeration, but just go with me here. You could be like debilitated from week 5, which is usually when nausea sets in, to like the end of your first trimester. Like I wish I could have taken maternity leave, literally here. It's just, you feel totally non-productive. Like you cannot get off the couch, or at least in my case, like everything just seems super daunting. And like you could be persistently nauseous for like an entire 9 weeks. This could happen, and people don't talk about it because people don't talk about the first trimester because they often don't reveal their pregnancy until after the first trimester and after the nausea is over. And then they are like, oh, I'm happy and living and thriving in the second trimester. So that they kind of forget to tell everyone that they felt like dying in the first. And then like nobody really talks about it until you're experiencing it. And then you like reach out to your friends who have had babies and they're like, oh yeah, like I was pretty gone. And I'm like, well, nobody told me before I was living it. I don't know like if there's anything that I could have really done.
Yeah, you
to like
freak
make this
yourself
easier
out more.
on me,
So
but
you got to go through it. So you can't really prepare more. What, buy more bagels? I don't know.
I have so many thoughts on this. So many thoughts on this that I just need to like get out. One of my friends that is pregnant, felt after having her child, felt something in her vagina, and then had to like see a urologist and didn't realize that your insides can actually just like fall out of your vagina.
You had a prolapse.
And she goes, no one talks about this. No one fucking told me my insides. And it's painful. So one, I really have an issue with like there just not being enough awareness. I know that this stuff's out there, but I think there isn't enough education. There isn't enough awareness. We're basically half the population. Like, it'd be nice if we got like this, all this stuff was like told to us in class or something. Like, I just think it's so crazy how people don't like, they don't talk about things also because I think there is a little shame. I think women are embarrassed. I mean, look at Handmaid's Tale. It's like, if you can't have a child, it's like, it's all, I think we just have a lot of shame about it.
And I think a lot of media, like a lot of, romantic comedies, it's all plots.
Yeah, it's romantic comedy.
They don't show them pressing the stomach down after you give birth and like getting the placenta out and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
but what I think is, I don't think it's a romantic comedy. Like, yes, there's movies out there, like the one that Shia LaBeouf was just in with, what's her name? What was it called? Pieces of Me or whatever, of like a at-home birth. Anyways, the point is that there should be more awareness. My other thought is, I love that you said that I wish I could have been on maternity leave in the first trimester. And there's this article on the Washington Post called The Unreasonable Expectations of American Motherhood, which I think is worth a read because I feel like our country doesn't necessarily like exactly what you were saying, Ashley. Like, imagine if you work a 9 to 5 and you're at a bank and like you're fucking nauseous the whole time. It's like I feel like our system isn't really built like for motherhood, and we don't like champion and celebrate the people that bring life force into the planet. Does that make sense?
Yeah. But I also don't think our workforce is going to work if like we end up taking like a year off too. So there's like a balance. There's something in there.
I mean, yeah, I don't know what I don't know what like the problem is. I just think that
You know what the solution is.
I just like there's so many issues. Like, there's women that are scared to tell their job that they are even pregnant. They're like, I may not get a promotion. Then it's like you're dealing with this in your first trimester. Like, it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like we shouldn't be scared to like fucking bring life into the world is all I'm saying. Rant over.
Yeah. No. Totally get it. My other one last physical symptom has been shortness of breath, which is kind of like annoying because, when you try to calm yourself down, you're like, okay, think of your breathing, take a deep breath. But then when you take a deep breath, it actually kind of like stresses you out because you're like, I didn't get a lot of air in there.
Yeah.
Wow.
And when you don't get a lot of air in there, then you start thinking, am I breathing? Am I even getting oxygen?
Yeah, exactly.
Spiral into a panic attack. And that's
what happened to you, Lauren, right?
Oh my God.
You were like scared of not
breathing.
breathing.
But I saw something the other day. I don't know if it was in the Facebook group, but there was some girl being like, do you guys ever not get to like the top of your breath?
Yes.
And I'm like, that is so crazy that you say top of my breath, because that's exactly what I think about. If you can't get a full, you're going to freak out. So
Yes.
I also have problems breathing in general. That's why I don't love doing breath work, because I'm like, I feel like I can never get enough air.
Just don't think about it, and you'll get all the air you need.
That's so true. It's when you don't concentrate on. Okay, so we went through the physical, Ashley. Mentally, I mean, this is so exciting. It's like, how do you feel about like being a mom?
You have to like make a nursery now, which you haven't even, like, whose room's going away? Jared's man cave or your glam room? Which one?
Oh, it's so annoying.
So annoying.
That's so true. That's so true. I didn't even think of that.
Probably the glam room. I don't know. Because then we wouldn't have a guest room if we took the man cave away. I feel like we're going to need that guest room now.
Wait.
Wait. What do you want, a door? Wouldn't you want a door?
No. I'm not going to close the baby in there.
Okay, that makes sense.
Wait,
so how are you feeling mentally about being a mom?
I don't feel like a mom yet.
Got it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't really feel, I guess this is like a little bit of a nerve thing, but like, I don't really feel like emotionally connected to the baby yet. Which
Yeah.
I don't know if you normally do at this time.
I don't think
I haven't had any signs from it except for throwing up. So it's like,
right.
hey, thanks. You make me feel really good.
Right.
I don't know. It's the size of an olive right now.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
So it's like what, like the size of like half of my thumb.
That's so wild.
I wish I could say that I feel like emotionally bonded to it, but not really. I wonder when most moms do start feeling like that's my baby. Well, and also I was cuter about it when I wasn't feeling sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Just feeling
like
sick
when I
right
was
now.
yeah, so like now I think about my kid making me feel sick, but a couple of weeks ago when like, you know, you were there, I was like, he's so cute, he's a baby, he's like Jared. And now it's like, now I'm like, it's not so cute. So I guess like when I start feeling better, I'll probably feel like more maternal.
Yeah, and once it starts popping out, probably.
Yeah.
It'll all happen at the same time. We were looking at like what size it is and all the like what like it has fingers and all this stuff the other day. And it's just crazy what happens from 1 week to the next. Like 1 week it has nothing. The next week it has
Fingernails.
Fingernails, like a full on toes. It has like everything. And then it goes from the size of an olive to the size of a little tangerine. It's like, that's such a big jump in a week. And that's why you're feeling like exhausted today. You know,
Yeah, your
yeah.
body's
10 weeks
going
is
through
a big
so many
week.
changes. It's wild.
Yeah.
It's you're creating life right now. I still don't get it.
I know
I still don't get it either,
It's
really.
so insane.
It's really weird.
It's really weird, and it's the
You
coolest
guys, can
thing
we take
ever.
a minute to think about how annoying it is that guys just like they literally put it in you and then they just watch you go through this pain and suffering.
Yeah.
It's like that's his kid. Like that's what's so weird is that is 50% his kid. That is as much his kid as my kid, but he doesn't have any of the side effects.
I always thought you were always a little bit more of your mother because you grow up and you know,
Yeah.
grow up. You grow in your mom. But like how the fuck is it 50-50?
It's so weird. I wish we were penguins.
So rude.
It is rude. Don't the male penguins carry the child?
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
I wish we were penguins. It would imagine seeing men with pregnant bumps and like dealing with all the shit that we deal with.
I mean, we're definitely, I think, no doubt,
Like
the
men
stronger
couldn't
sex.
do,
I mean,
men could not deal with that nausea and stuff.
No.
I don't
no
even
way.
see it.
No way.
no way.
And that's so I feel bad. That's very like that's not okay that I just
it's
said
not.
that.
That's fine. No, they are definitely like they're in some ways physically weaker than us. They may be able to have more muscle, but like there's certain tolerances that they don't have.
Like what you think? Like nausea?
Yeah, like they just wouldn't put up with this.
If they had, I mean, this is so funny to say. Like, I hear girls like say this all the time. If they had period cramps, they wouldn't know what to do with themselves. But then again, like, I fucking agree with you, girl, talking on the internet. They wouldn't know what to do with themselves.
I heard this, and someone please fact check if you're listening because I don't know if it's true, but I heard that there were tests for male birth control done, and the tests found that the symptoms would be like severe bloating, like cramping, like headache, like lack of sleep, like all this stuff. So they didn't go through with it
Because the guys would never do it.
So we can deal with the symptoms, but they can't have a male birth control, which to me is probably one of my largest. I don't get it either.
Yeah.
Like male birth control would change society.
They wouldn't take it. They just wouldn't take it.
It's crazy.
They would never take it regularly. They like forget and stuff.
It's wild.
Anyway, do you guys have any other questions?
Probably.
I mean, I have a million, but also I know the reason why I'm not asking them is because I know we're going to be talking about this in general. But like, I think so many people are going to be wondering, like, do you want a boy or a girl? Have you thought of names? Are you going to wait till are you going to wait till the day to find out?
I want a girl. I definitely think it's going to be a boy now. Jared and I have been preparing ourselves for it to be a boy for like years now. We've always just been like, everybody around us has girls. We're definitely going to have a boy. My sister-in-law's having a girl. And the second she said that, I was like, shit, we're having a boy.
Make any sense?
Yes, I'm going to be a little disappointed.
I love how you think that's how it works when literally it's 50-50. You're like, oh, well, someone in my proximity is having a boy, so I'm having a girl. That makes no sense.
I just feel like there's way more girls being born into this world right now. Like, I just feel like so many people have more. Don't you feel like every announcement it's a girl?
I don't know. I don't look at that many announcements.
Well, one of my friends is pregnant, which I think is really cool. I know you're not doing this, but is going to wait to have the child.
Fuck no.
And I think it's cool because we don't get that many surprises in life. I mean, it's totally a preference thing.
Do you know what's a surprise? Your child being brought into the world. You meeting your child that day is enough of a surprise. I don't need to know it's sex that day.
I think it's preference, if you want to mentally prepare.
I need to mentally prepare.
Yeah.
One of my grad school friends, she was like,
the
worst mistake I ever made was not finding out, because she said that she was disappointed. It was
you go through all that and then you're like, shit, it's this way I didn't want. Yeah.
I think I do it because you don't know what the child's going to identify as anyway.
Yeah.
So
I want my kid to wear gray until it can decide whatever clothes they want to wear. Like, I don't want to put my girl in a dress just because, I didn't love dresses. So,
same.
We're
the same. We're the same, Lauren.
I know.
The only thing I'm excited,
baby, cool shoes, and they could wear.
You bought my baby cool shoes?
Yeah.
You bought my baby shoes?
Your baby shoes, yes.
I bought your.
Really? You did not really.
Really?
Oh.
Yes,
Naz was the first clothing purchase, actually. She got a light blue, a baby blue sweater, a cardigan in Taylor Swift's town in Rhode Island, and it was just perfect.
If I buy your baby an Adidas tracksuit, will you put it on them?
Of course.
Okay, great. I'm about to spoil that motherfucker.
But yeah, the only thing is, I do have a great name for a boy, which will be the
Tom Brady.
It's why does everybody say this? It's
what do you mean?
Guys,
why does everybody say this?
I know it's an obvious joke, but it's like a joke.
Is it?
Okay, I need everybody to know that is a joke. It's not Tom Brady.
If Jared were to have a baby on his own, let's just say.
If Jared was
called Tom Brady.
You guys, I already suggested Brady could be a girl, and he doesn't even want Brady. He doesn't even want Brady.
Oh, well, I guess so when is Rob Thomas coming into the world?
No, I mean, the thing is, the word Thomas is a theme with Jared because there's Rob Thomas, there's Tom Cruise, and then there's Tom Brady.
Yeah, he likes Toms.
Yeah, I know. So, I hate the name Thomas, though.
I like Thomas.
No, we're naming our golden retriever Tom. So that's what he gets.
Oh my God, wait, you're getting a golden retriever named Tom? I didn't know that.
One day.
Oh, I love that. I love that name. Have I told you guys my big dog name?
What is it?
Reptar.
Oh, I love it.
Is that amazing?
I love it.
Are you fucking kidding me? Reptar to me was he was the epitome of fun and joy for the Rugrats.
Who's Reptar?
From Rugrats.
From Rugrats.
Oh, okay.
Remember, it was their imaginary dinosaur. Yeah. So I want a really big dog, and I want to name him Reptar.
Oh, that's cute.
Anyways, okay. So you have a great guy name. Have you thought of girl names?
I don't have a girl name yet.
Whoa.
Another reason that I think it's a boy.
Just because you don't have it yet.
Yeah.
Wait, Ashley, your girl name could have been a.
Jared doesn't want to name the girl that.
Okay.
He only likes it as a boy name. And I'm like, I think if we have two girls, you're going to have to get over that, because then the second girl is definitely going to be named that.
This will definitely be cooler than the first.
Lauren. Well, Lauren, you were second, and you're pretty cool.
Thank you. But I should have been Alexandra, and I would have been way cooler.
No, it would not have been.
I should have been Nicole, and I would have been cooler.
No, Ashley and Lauren is what your names are. And you guys are Barbies in my life. Ashley, oh my God, I have so many questions. I have so many.
Obviously, I know this is I complained a lot on this podcast. I'm very happy. I'm going to be very happy. I'm just in a little bit of a yuck phase.
Yeah. Yeah, you're being
You know,
you're
like,
being real.
I feel like I'm being real.
Anyone
I think I'm
who
being
has
really
gone
real.
through it probably is so happy to hear this, but then maybe on the other side, people who haven't been like, "Oh, she's so ungrateful."
Well, that's also the thing. Like, I like don't like. There's so many women out there who like are going through infertility things, and it's like, oh, here's this girl who got pregnant after 7 months, and she's complaining about how she feels. I would kill to feel like that. So, like, I'm of course thinking about those people. I absolutely are. And again, something that Amy Schumer said. She said, "I know how blessed I am to be in the situation, but I feel like." Going through what I'm going through, it's okay to feel a little sorry for myself. Yeah. And like, man, she just like really spoke for me.
Oh, I love that. You should you should do an IG live with Amy.
I've got to reach out to her.
That'd be super cool. Do it. Message her. That'd be awesome.
I will.
I mean, I could go on and on with questions, but okay. So my friends that have had children, when they come up with the name, some of them have kept it until the baby's born to tell the world. And then some of them are like, I want to tell everyone now so no one takes that name for their kid. Where are you in that line?
Well, that's our whole thing. Well, we're not telling the world because I haven't told anyone because I don't want anybody to take the name until it's officially our kid's name.
Wait, sorry, say that
That's
again?
how I think about it.
You don't want someone copying.
I don't want people copying us. So, like, I don't want people to know the name until it's officially our kid's name.
Okay, so you're going to wait.
Birth. Like, obviously, friends and family will know.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm not going to announce the name of our child until it's born.
I'm sure people...
I'm so annoyed by the fact that somebody might steal my name one day.
I know. It's a thing. That's why I asked you. I feel like a lot of people feel that way.
People are probably wondering how long you're going to not be in Rhode Island for, because there's some dumb bitch who was in my DMs being like, I think it's like, I guess Ash and Jared aren't doing so well since Jared's in Rhode Island all the time and Ash is with your parents. It's a really weird, I guess things aren't paradise after all. And I'm like, I want you to die.
No, that's definitely been an insecurity of mine. Another reason that I wanted to come out about this earlier, because Jared has to be there sometimes. He needs to be there because of the coffee shop and martini bar that we're opening. And he's been coming.
I feel like that's the first time you've announced this on our podcast. Just
a whole other announcement.
Subtle low-key flex. Because of the coffee shop we're opening.
And the
martini bar. Guys. I've like kind of teased it before, and I feel like we've like sort of just like said it like under the radar. So like,
yes, but
that's just like a secondary announcement.
Yes, but it's massive and it's happening and it's exciting and it's like really happening.
Thank you. It is really happening, and he's really working on it, and he's in there like all week long. They're doing the painting. He's got a lot of work to do, and I feel bad I can't be part of it. But he's been here half the time that I've been here, and that's still a lot of time. And he's coming down this week he's here this week for a whole other week. And it's just like, I can't have the IVs in Rhode Island.
Yeah, so
and that's very annoying.
Feel better, you'll go back.
Yes, but that's very annoying that somebody wrote that to you. Because that was such an insecurity of mine, is that people were going to see that I was hanging out with my parents for so long, and they would think that something was wrong in our marriage when like that's obviously not the case. I've just been super sick. I need to be attended to. My mom makes me a meal every 2 hours, and I'm hooked up to the IV like 70% of the time. So
wow. Well, that was a mouthful for someone who feels really nauseous and needs to eat every 2 hours to keep something down. So thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
Ash, I'm so excited for you to be a mom.
Thank you.
I feel like you're going to be such a good mom. I mean, I know you're going to be such a good mom. But you and Jared as parents like really makes me so excited.
I feel like Jared's going to he's going to fall into the dad role easier.
Yeah.
You think easier? Why?
Yeah.
It's just like that's what he was born to do.
He loves to
it's like in him.
He likes to like take care of things a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of like his dad likes to like really take care of things. And then like Jared like loves feeding Lois is like something that he like gets pride out of.
Like he likes being the man of the house. Sounds.
I think he's nurturer.
More nurture.
No, I'm nurturing, but like he's also very nurturing.
Yeah.
I feel like he has more energy. I'm just scared.
Right, like he just jumps up and does whatever. And us, Ashley and I are just like, give us 5, you know?
Yeah.
Like, give us 5 minutes. But like Jared's like, yeah, no problem. I'll feed it right now. I'll do it.
Yeah, exactly. Like he loves tasks. That's the thing. He loves busybody work. And I'm like, oh no.
That's so funny. Well,
so we'll see. We'll all see. Of course, there's so much changes when the baby's out of
Right.
you. It's just like, it's a love that you've never felt before. So obviously, like you cater to them the way that like you've never had a desire to cater to before.
right.
Yeah.
I also think what's really beautiful, and I don't know if this is true, but
So fucking hot in here. Holy shit. Oh my God. My mom is keeping, like, it's so freaking hot, and like your body temperature is another whole degree higher.
Oh,
So I'm like at
no.
99, like constantly, and it's just like everything is sticky, and the smell of my BO makes me nauseous.
God
Okay.
damn.
Sorry. Continue.
No.
Wrap up.
I think we should end on that note, but I was just going to say, I haven't been with someone for a super, super long time, but I imagine that you re-fall in love with your partner because you get to see them in a whole new way, which I think is really,
I know,
really
I'm excited
cool.
about that. That's
Yeah.
actually going to be very sweet.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see the
cutest.
He's going to see you as
it's
a
gonna be so
mother.
cute.
You're going to see him as a father, and you guys have never seen that side of each other. So I think it's really exciting in that way too. I'm so excited.
That's super cute. That is exciting.
All right, guys. Well, there you have it. Ashley Iaconetti from Chris Soules' season of The Bachelor that went on to appear on Bachelor in Paradise season 2 and 3 and the Winter Games, had a boyfriend and a storyline with a man that she met on a beach in Mexico, is now having a child with him. So, the end.
That's right. Thank you.
So good.
Subscribe.
I did
Love
it.
you guys.
Bye.
More to come.
If you want to be the most interesting person at the cocktail party, well, hop on over and listen to the Brain Candy podcast.
Our award-winning content will have you laughing while you're learning.
We read all the best articles, books, and studies and keep up with new TV shows, documentaries, and pop culture. And then we cram it all into 2 shows a week.
Conspiracy theories, cannibal rabbits, unsolved mysteries, the history of the Walkman. There's something for everyone.
The Brain Candy podcast. Find our link in the show notes.
Or simply search for the Brain Candy Podcast on your podcast app.
Podcast.